Hello everyone, my name is Parv. I've been teaching engineering students in Montreal for almost 15 years. Over the years, I've helped students from different universities, including Concordia, McGill, and ETS, to really understand their courses and score excellent grades. I'm running a tutoring business located in downtown Montreal where I offer weekly tutorials as well as midterm and final crash courses. If you would like to know more about the courses I teach, you can visit my website mectutoring.com and you can check out the courses listed out in the booking section if you go there. Okay, you can see these are the courses I offer, and if you need any help in these courses, you can always reach out to me on my website. Okay, now let's get started with lab 1. In this video, we'll go step by step to complete the assignment. We'll create the required 2D orthographic drawings from the 3D part that is given in your lab manual. I will assume that you already have the AutoCAD on your computer, okay? So I'm using AutoCAD 2026 and this is the 3D part that we have to make the drawings of. Okay, so in the lab manual they have given us this part. As you can see that the dimensions are in inches. How do you know dimensions are in inches? You don't see 0 in front of the decimal, okay, for the smaller dimensions. So the dimensions are in inches, and so in the AutoCAD also we're going to keep our units in inches when we draw. Okay, so what is the first thing that I'm going to help you with is that I'm going to give you a template that you're going to import into your AutoCAD drawing file that you're going to create from scratch. Okay, so this template you can put in your name, student ID, and all the information in there. Okay, this is the same template which is also provided on the Moodle, but be careful, okay, because on the Moodle it's possible that the template you download will be in different size and scale. Okay, so if you are following this video, please use the template I'm going to provide in the description of this video. Okay, once you have downloaded the template from the video description, you will open it up. It's going to show up like this. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to draw on this template. Okay, I'm going to ask you to copy this template onto a new file, because that way your file will be created on the current date, because this template has an old date on it. Okay, so what are you going to do is you're going to click on the A of the AutoCAD on the left hand side top and click on this new and select the template acad.dwt from there and open it up, and then go to the previous template file we have and then click on the screen left button. Okay, left mouse button, just click, don't drag. I'm not dragging anything, I'm just hovering over the screen. Okay, it's going to select everything and then click again and copy it, then press escape and go to the other file that you have just created and press Ctrl V over here. Is going to bring in the template. Then you can click on the center mouse button to drag the screen and bring it wherever you want it to be. Okay, I've not placed the template yet. The template will only be placed once you click the left mouse button. Okay, so you can zoom in, zoom out if you want, and then place the template at wherever place you want to place it at. Okay, so it doesn't have to be exactly at the connection over here, it can be anywhere off from there also. Okay, so I'm gonna click here. This is more than enough, and so your new drawing file is ready with the template now. Okay, so let's see how we can edit the template now. You're gonna double click on the name and you're going to update your name, keep it all uppercase. Okay, and change your student ID and change the file name. You can make the file name just like this. Okay, you can say your first name, your last name, and then 2111. You can do that. Okay, it's up to you. You can even call it lab if you want. Okay, but if you add your first name, last name, then it's going to be a unique file name. Okay, then you will change the date, you will change the scale is going to be 1:1 because we are going to draw in 1:1, because the template has been created in such a way that the 3D file that's given to you is going to be, when you create the views of it, it's going to fit into this template. Okay, so you don't have to change the scale. So lab session, you can make it lab 1 instead of this number sign over there if you want, okay? And the name of the course MIAE 211, so everything is good. No need to change the revision. Revision is used when you submit the drawing once and you want to submit the same drawing again to your TA telling that this is the new version of it, okay? Then you can add the revision 1 over here, or 2 or 3, just like that, okay? So let's click OK, and everything is updated, okay? So now we will start drawing the views that we want over here, okay? So you can see that this is the 3D file, and I've already created the 3 views we have to draw. That's a top view, this is the front view, that's a profile view. We are drawing in third angle projection, okay? And I've added these dimensions in inches to the drawings. These dimensions are not the ones you're going to add at the end, okay? This is not the dimensions that you're going to add, because this is over dimensioning. You can see that I'm dimensioning 0.6 in multiple views over here, okay? In the front also, in the top also, okay? Don't do that. You don't have to overdo the dimensioning. You will only do the required dimensioning, okay? Whenever you do the dimensioning, just follow this rule, okay? You're always gonna just locate and size the objects in the drawing, okay? So if you are able to locate an object through your dimensioning and size it, the dimensioning is complete, okay? And never do the over dimensioning, okay? You can see that there are 4 type of lines in the drawings over here, okay? There is a solid line. You're going to keep its thickness to be 0.5 millimeters, and then there is a dashed line. You're going to keep it like zero point 0.4, zero point 0.5. It's all good, okay? And there is a center line. You're going to keep its thickness to be 0.35 millimeters from the layers command, okay? I'm going to show you what that means, okay? And there is a dimension line. You're going to keep their thickness to be 0.15, okay? And there is a phantom line also, which is not in this drawing. We normally use it for section views and to show the continuity in the parts, okay? So we are not using it over here. It's a double dash line, okay? So you don't see it here. So let's go to AutoCAD and learn how to deal with the layers, okay? Because this is really important, okay? So you're gonna go on to layers properties, and you can see that there are already 4 layers over here, okay? What are these layers? Whenever you draw anything on AutoCAD, you can select a particular layer and it will draw the lines and everything in that particular format, okay? So there are 4 layers already. The main layer is 0 layer, and there is a central layer which is also there, okay? And we never use model front and the title block. We don't use them, okay? So you're going to create a new layer now here, and let's call it hidden. And I'm going to select the type of the line, not continuous. I'm going to load from here and select the hidden from this list, okay? The simple hidden is good enough, because the hidden 2 and hidden x2, they are different sizings. We don't need those. I'll just select hidden, and I will click on hidden and press OK. And then over here, I'm going to change the line thickness to 0.35, as I already told you before. And for the main layer, I'm going to change the thickness to be 0.5. And for the center layer, I'm going to change it to be 0.35 also. I told you 0.40 or 35 before, but doesn't matter. You can keep it same as the hidden lines over there. And then I'm going to add one more layer and call it dimensions. And this one, I'm going to keep it continuous and make the thickness 0.15. And do we need any other? Yes, we need one more layer. You're going to call it, you can call it construction lines, constructions, okay? Construction, just construction is good enough. And keep it, let's see which one we can keep over here, okay? There are a lot of different lines over there. This is just going to be for construction, okay? So I'm going to use hidden 2 for that, okay? Like small dashes, you can see that, okay? That is going to be good. And I'm going to click OK and click on that and click OK. And construction line, keep it 0.15. Don't make it more than that, okay? Now you can turn off any layer from here. which is already drawn on the picture and make it not visible on the screen. Okay, so let's say I've drawn a view. For example, let me show it to you here. Let's make the first layer current layer. Okay, and I clicked on it, it's current now, and close the box over here for the layers and start the line. You can draw anything, it's drawn in that layer now. Okay, and if I go onto the layer properties and click on this sun over here, which is the visibility. Okay, and this layer cannot be frozen because it's the current layer. You have to change the layer first of all. Okay, let's change the layer to this, and then let's freeze the main layer. Okay, and you can see it's gone. The lines are there, the lines are there, but they are not visible anymore. If you want to bring them back there, you're going to click on this again and it's going to bring it back. There you go. So this is the purpose of the layers, and it's also user friendliness, that how quick we can make the drawing using different layers over there. Okay, so these are the layers, and these are the layers we need. You can even change the name of the layers, what I have added over there. You can change them to whatever you want them. Okay, and let's start the drawing now. Now you can see that we can start from any one of these three views. I'm going to start from the front view. Okay, so if I start from this corner, there is a line going down, which is 2.5, and line going this way, which is going to be 3.8, and line going down, which is 1. No, not 1. 1.5 minus 0.6 is going to be 0.9. Then I will not draw the arc. I will simply go from this point until this point, which is going to be of length 1.6, which is the diameter of the outer arc. And then I'm going to go up by 1.5 and then go back by distance of 5.4 minus 0.6, which is going to be 4.8, and then I'm going to go up by 2.5 minus 0.6, which is going to be 1.9, and then go back to the same starting point with a line of 0.6 over there. Okay, so the main structure of my front view will be created by doing that. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you how to do it now. So let's move this drawing on the side, and I'll make sure my layer is the main layer, and click on the line and then start the view. When you start the view, you can see that you can go up, to the right, to the left, to the bottom. Okay, if you want to go at a specific angle, you can press the tab on the keyboard and type in the angle you want to go at, and then press the tab again. It will go at that specific angle. Okay, it will lock it at that angle, but I don't want to do that. I'll type in 0 angle over there and press tab. So now it cannot go down. You can see that the angle is locked over there. Okay, so if this happens, you want to keep it unlocked and just hover in whichever direction, then I recommend going back in the command and pressing the line again. Now you can see I can go whichever way I want because the angle is not locked. But as soon as you type in the value of the angle, it will be locked at that specific angle. Okay, and when you click on the screen, it will start the line. I'm not dragging anything, I'm simply hovering my mouse in particular directions where I want to go in. Okay, and before we start drawing, let me show you a few other important things that you have to know. Okay, let's get out of this command. You can see in the bottom over here there is a snap cursor to 2D reference point, and there is show snapping reference line. Okay, so if you click on this, it will show you these options over here. Okay, you can select any one of these options to snap on a particular location. For example, let's say you have a circle here. You want to start a line from the quadrant of the circle, from the top corner. Okay, how can you do that? If you go here and select on the quadrant, and now if you draw the line, you will see that it will snap on the quadrants. You see that? So this is called snapping feature. Okay, so sometimes let's say we want to draw a line from here tangent to that circle. It's not showing me the tangent, it's only showing me the quadrants. If I click on this arrow and click on tangent, it will start showing me the tangent also. Look at that. It's showing me the tangent properly, okay? So that is the purpose of the snapping, okay? So you're going to use it for your benefit. I'm not going to tell you from next time that what I'm using them for, okay? I'm just going to use them because you know how to deal with them. If you want to disable them, you can just click on this and click on this. There will be no snapping on the drawing. Sometimes there is way too much snapping while dimensioning, okay? So it's better to turn them off if you want them to be, okay, because it will be easier for you to do the dimensioning if you turn them off, okay. So I'm going to turn them on back again, okay. The next thing I want to show you is how to change the units, okay. So you see this command prompt at the bottom. If you type units here and press enter, it's going to show you this unit dialog box, okay. So you can change your units into millimeters if you want over here, or inches. The other ones we never use them actually, okay, so they are special types. So if you click on inches, you can even change the precision over here. I can make it like 2 points after the decimal, okay. That much precise is more than enough in inches, okay. So if you want it to be 4 up to 4 points, you can do that too, okay. So the standard one is almost like 3 or 4, okay. So I'm gonna keep it let's say 3 over here. This is enough, okay. And but in our drawing there is nothing, like you can see that there is no dimension which is up to 3 decimal points over there, okay. So you can keep 2 over there, which is going to be good enough for us, okay. Normally we need 4, so this is going to be 2. And for the angles there is no precision needed, okay. You can just keep it 0, or 0 0.0 is good enough, okay. And you can make it clockwise if you want, but normally it's counterclockwise, okay. So, and the units for specifying the intensity of lighting, oh, we don't use that, okay. So click OK. And now everything is ready. We can start drawing. Let's make the front view first, okay? So I have already explained you what I'm gonna do. So make sure that the layer selected is the main layer, and you click on the line command and start making the view, okay? So I'm gonna make this 2.5, and then this way 3.8, then this way 0 0.9, then this way 1.6, then this way 1.5, then this way 4.8, yes, and upwards by 1.9, and then this way back again 0.6. So you can see it's ending at the same location where we started at. So it means that our dimensioning is good, okay, what we thought that the dimensioning is for the part over there, okay, the length and width and height and all that, okay. So let's draw this arc now here. Whenever you draw the arc in the command in the AutoCAD, when you click on the arc command, okay, it's going to ask you different options over there. I'm going to show it to you now, and you will select it in such a way that you're going to go counterclockwise, okay. So you're going to say arc and select the option start and radius, and always make the starting point in such a way that you can either select this point as a starting or this one. But if I select this one and go counterclockwise, the arc is going to go inside. But if I select this as a starting point, then it's going to go outside, okay. So be careful to select the starting point there, okay. So if I select the starting point, this one, and say this is the end point and this is the radius, you will see that the arc is outside, okay. That's what I want. Let me show you the other one. If I say this is the, just 1 minute, yeah, it's that one selected. No, it's a different one. Let's select this. So if I make this as starting point and this as an ending point and this as a radius, you see that the arc goes on inside, okay. So I don't want that. I'll delete it, and I'll keep this line for now and draw the circle at the center of this. The radius of that circle will be 0.3 according to the drawing that we have. You can see that here it's 0.3, okay. So I'm gonna move it on the side. So let's delete this line, our structure of the view is ready. Okay, so then I'm going to change the layer to hidden and make this line, which is hidden in my views. Let me show it to you. I'm not going to move the view anymore. I'm going to just minimize it from now on. Okay, so you see that there is a hidden line here, which we have done. Okay, and these hidden lines and the center line and this hidden line and the center line, they are for that hole and for this slot. I don't draw them right now because I know that what distance they are at, but it's better to draw them in the view where they are visible and then project it back. Okay, that's what we are going to do. Now let's draw the profile view. The distance between the front view and the profile view is up to you what you want to keep over there, okay? Because these are the first two views that you're drawing, so there is no specific rule that you have to put it at a specific distance. Okay, so I'm going to go to AutoCAD and start the view randomly from any distance between these two views over here. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the view in such a way that I will start from this corner, go down by 2.3, go this way 0.6, go up by 1.7, go this way by 3.3 minus 0.6, which is going to be 2.7, and then go up by 1.6. Then I'll do it rectangularly first. Okay, I'll go this way by 1.8 and then come down by 1 and then go back to the starting edge again. Okay, so let's do it. So before doing that, you can see that my drawing is really close to the boundary of the template. Okay, so I'm gonna click here and drag it up by moving it, and then press escape, and now I'm going to start making the view really fast. So check this out here. I'll make sure that the layer is the main layer, and don't click on this corner, just hover over it. It's going to lock it right next to it, and then start the view. So this is going to be 2.3, so 0.6 up by 1.7, I think. Yeah, 1.7 this way. 3.3 minus 0.6 is going to be 2.7 up by 1.6 this way, 1.8 down 1 this way is going to be until the edge over here. Okay, it's going to be 3.3 minus 1.8, which is going to be 3.3 minus 1.5 it is. So it starts from this point and end at the same point. You can see that. Okay, now let's draw the arc. You already know how to draw the arc counterclockwise. So this, then the circle of size 0.4 radius, and then there is a hidden line at this location here, and there is a solid line going this way. Okay, and then delete this line. Now we are going to add the center marks at the center of these holes over here. Okay, so to add the center marks, what are you going to do? First, you're going to go to the center line layer, and then you're going to type in here CM. Then click on this circle and that circle. Center marks are done. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the hidden lines for this hole in this view over here. To draw the hidden lines, I'll make sure that the layer selected is hidden, and then I'll make sure that in the snapping quadrants is on. Okay, then I will go to the line command and hover over the top quadrant, and then just hover to the left hand side. It will lock it with that location. Okay, and then I can draw the line from here to here. That's going to be the hidden line. It's done. Okay, and there is one more important snap that you have to keep on all the time. It's perpendicular and parallel. Okay, that's really important, because the reason I was able to draw this line until this point was because of the perpendicular snap. Okay, so Next thing is this quadrant. Not gonna talk now. This, and then the center line from here to here is done. There are other ways also to add the center line. You can delete this and type in CL here, but it's not going to add the center line the way you want it. It's not going to show you that middle dash, okay? If you want to have that middle dash, you have to go it the other way, okay? So the way I showed it to you, you're going to make sure that the layer is center, and you're going to do that what I did earlier, okay? So this way the center dash is going to show up properly, okay? And there is nothing else we can do in these two views at the moment because we don't have the locations of the other features. But this one, yes, we can do the hidden lines for this whole. So let's do it really quick. And the center line. There you go. So the primary structure of both of the views is ready, and there are few features missing now, okay? We are going to do them after we do the top view, okay? To do the top view, I'm going to use the help of construction lines. I'm going to go to construction and then draw a folding line here, which I'm going to hide afterwards because that's one of my construction lines. They are just helping me out to create the view, okay? And draw another folding line randomly here close to the profile view so that your top view doesn't go out of the page. The reason I keep it close to the profile view is because I want the top view to stay close, okay? And then you will draw a 45-degree line here. To draw the 45-degree line, I'll press the tab key on the keyboard and type in 45, press the tab again. Now I will draw the line, and then I will project the extreme boundary of this part onto this line and then horizontally. It didn't lock it properly, just let me do it again. Now it's locked. And that's the top left corner of our drawing, okay? You just need that. You don't need anything else, okay? So look at this thing here. I just got that corner, okay? So I'm gonna go with that now. So first of all, there is a line of 3.4 here, and then there is an arc. To draw this arc, we need the center point of that arc, which is how far from this point. It's 2 inches below this, okay? It's not at the middle of this arc. The middle of this arc is zero point 0.4 below this point, okay? But for that arc, it's almost 0 0.2 below this because it's 2 inches from the top and this dimension is 1.8. So how much below it will be? It will be 0 0.2, okay? So let me show to you how to do that. So I will go to the main layer and start the line from this, and this way it's 3.4 and down 2 and to the right 2. Now I'm going to draw the arc. Not, I selected a wrong arc. Start and radius counterclockwise, this, that. Arc is ready. You can remove the center lines, we don't need it, okay? They were to locate the center, that's why I was saying they are center lines, okay? So then from this corner I'm gonna go down by 1.8, then this way by 3.4 again, but this time I'm gonna go down by only 0.4, okay, not 2 as it was starting from here, okay? So then I will draw the arc Before drawing the arc, you also need the right hand side point. You're going to do 0.4 and then draw the arc. Okay, so start and radius, start and radius. This is one way to draw the arc. There are a lot of other ways to draw the arc also. For example, you can give start and an angle. You can give start, center, and the length. You can give start and direction. There are different ways to do it, okay? But the best one that I think at the moment are these two, okay? So then you can remove these lines that you used for drawing those arcs. Now we just have to draw the end of that until this point, and then until this point, and then close it. Okay, so the part is ready for us, and let's draw a solid line at this location because there is a solid line here. And then let's draw a hidden line at this location because there is a hidden line here. I have made the boundary of the part wrong. You saw that I made a mistake. I'll show it to you what it means. This is the location of hidden line, and this is the end of the part. You see that I created the end of the part at the folding line. It's not at the folding line. It's above it. So you have to correct that, okay? These kind of mistakes we normally make, okay? It's a normal thing, so it's not something special. I'm going to remove this and trim this line. I'm going to click on trim and trim this line. This is the end of the part, okay? So then I'm going to draw the solid line where I want it to be. I can remove the construction lines with one click, okay? So no need to remove them at the moment, okay? So then I'm gonna go into hidden line layer and draw a line from this point to this point, okay? That's the hidden I want, but I'm gonna remove the construction line afterwards, okay? So we have everything. Let's draw the slot. To draw the slot, let's use the construction line. Just hover over this line anywhere. Don't go over that corner. Just hover over this line and go this way by 1.9 and then go up and hit that line, okay? And then trim this and this. And the middle of that line is where our slots start, okay? So I'm gonna go main, and there's a slot here of radius 0.3. And then I'm going to draw another line from the center of this way of 0.9 and move this circle, copy it, not move, to that location and delete this line. Our slot is ready. Draw a line from the top quadrant to top quadrant and the bottom quadrant to bottom quadrant. Okay, then delete this and trim the inner edges. The slot is ready. Let's add a center mark on the slot. So this and that. So the slot is ready, okay? And there is hidden lines in the top view for this hole at that location, okay? You can either project it to the miter line if you want, but I prefer you just copy it from here because it's the same hole. You can copy it from this center and place it at the center of this. Okay, it's done. It's the same thing. Okay, and this hole is also gonna, which is this hole, will show up here. Okay, it will show up here. So let's draw the hidden lines for that. It's gonna be, let's draw the center line first. So that's the center line. Okay, and let's draw the hidden line. this, that. And what's remaining? The location of the slot in this view, it's remaining. Let's do that. So this, and this, and the center, that. I've already told you why I do the center lines this way, not with the command. Okay, so we are done with that. And there is the slot location in this view remaining. Okay, you know that there is this slot going until that point, then going this way here. It's going to be at the middle of that. Okay, but I will do it in a special way. Okay, I'll just copy this slot and move it from this point to the middle here. And you know that there will be hidden line at this extreme end. Okay, instead of doing the construction line using the miter line, I simply did the slot using the copy command. Okay, so this is the center line location, and this is the hidden line location from here to here. And then you can delete this, and then let's copy this hidden line on the other side. You can copy it if you want. The way to copy it is just move it from this point to this point. Okay, but you cannot do that because think about it. Okay, if you're copying it, you copy it from this point to that point, it's only going to copy it there. You want it to be on the other side, so you're not going to copy it, you're going to actually mirror it. Okay, so click on mirror and then click on this and that, and then type in no. Okay, just 1 minute. I clicked a bit off. Okay, I didn't want it to be off. So this mirror, then the boundaries of the center line, which is where the mirror is based on, and then type in no, because they're asking you to erase the source or not. No, it's there. Okay, so done. And is there anything else remaining? Let me check it out. This is the view. This line is solid. We didn't do that. That was a mistake. So this line is solid here. Okay. So I think everything is done. Yes, everything is done. Let's hide the construction lines now. Go to layers and hide the construction lines. Make sure that construction is not the current layer, then it's going to allow you to do that. Okay, make sure that your main layer is the current layer, and then you can hide the construction if you want. You can keep the constructions also, but when you print it, you can hide it by clicking on this. It will not allow you to print it. Okay, it will not show up in the final PDF that you create out of the views. Okay, so if you just don't want to hide them but don't want to show them on the printer, you can use that. But I want to simply hide them. They will not even show up on the printer. Okay, so done. That's our view. So we are done with the views. We are going to start dimensioning now. I'm not going to dimension it completely because I'll tell you something. Okay, because if I dimension it completely, all of you guys are going to do the same dimensioning. Okay, which I don't want, because the problem is that the dimensioning is unique to every student. Okay, you can dimension it the way you want it. Okay, it's never going to match with the dimensioning of another student. It's never going to be the same because it's your thinking. You think that I'm going to dimension the slot in the top view and the location in the front view and all that. Okay, so don't say that you have to copy the exact dimensions I'm doing in this drawing over here. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the dimensions now. I'm only going to do it for the top view. Okay, for the front view and profile view, you will do the dimensioning by yourself. Okay, No need to repeat the dimensioning that I'm doing in the top view. For example, let's say, let me show you an example, okay? First, let's go to the dimensioning layer and start dimensioning from this edge to this edge, which is zero point 0.6, okay? So let's say I did it in the top view. You don't have to do the same length in the front view over there, okay? You don't have to do that because that's a over dimensioning, okay? They will remove marks if you do over dimensioning. You know that this length is already done, so you're not going to add it, okay? But you can add the total length of the part in the front view here, this. You can say this is 5.4, the total. But let's say in the top view, I'm adding this dimension from here to here. I'm adding this, 1 minute, this 3.8. I'm adding it here, or I'm keeping it outside the view here, or adding it here if I want it to be, okay. It's my choice. And then let's say I know this dimension also, which is the diameter of the circle in the front view. So this, the radius of that is given, means the dia is also known, which is 1.6. So the total length of the part is 3.8 plus 1.6, which is already done, okay? Because you have dimensioned it in the two views, okay, combinedly. You can see that, okay? So what can you do now for the total length of the part? You don't have to do it. If you do the total length of the part, it will be an overkill. Why? Because if you do that, then this dimension has to be referenced. You have to make it reference. I don't know how to make it reference in AutoCAD. Let me try it. You have to type in, I think, let's, yeah, you have to put the bracket here because that dimension is an overkill. But why do we need the overall length if it was already done over there? Because in some engineering drawings, we have to mention what's the overall size of the object, okay? Even though we can calculate it, but we don't want the guy to calculate it, whosoever is reading the drawing. I want to tell that guy that overall length is this much. You don't need to pick up a calculator to find it out, okay? Because sometimes the dimensions are in decimal points, so it's hard to add them up, okay? So I give the overall length in that case. So that's the reason behind it. So let's do the dimensioning in the top view, okay? So I will say this hole is located from this edge at a distance of zero point 0.9, and the radius of this is zero point 0.9 also. So the distance from this corner to this corner is 1.8, which is matching with this view using the miter line, okay? You know that thing. So there is no need to do the complete dimensioning over there. Even this zero point 0.9 is not needed, okay? But that zero point 0.9 is not actually telling us the radius of that arc. It's actually telling us that this hole is located at the middle of it, okay? So this zero point 0.9 and that zero point 0.9 are not the same thing, okay? And then I will dimension this hole. I'll turn off those, all of them, because I told you before they were gonna cause problems, okay? In dimensioning, always turn them off, okay? So this, now this hole is also dimensioned. So don't dimension it in the top view now, okay? For the slot, I'm gonna say this is the radius of the slot. You're gonna type in 2 times for that, okay? And then you're gonna say the length of it is this much, and you're gonna say what the starting point is, okay? For the starting point, you need the snaps. You will say from this until this. And let's move this dimension because it's a bigger dimension. Move it away. Look, when you move it, you have to be really careful. Don't drag it, just click on the screen and move it, okay? And I'm gonna move it even further because it's gonna create an illusion that it's connected to that line, okay? So that's done. You can move it inside if you want. So After that, I will do radius of this and radius of this. To do the radius of that, I will turn off the snaps. Okay, and move this radius a bit far. And you can move this radius on this side if you want, like that. Okay, but I don't prefer that because it's gonna increase the boundaries of that circle over there. Okay, it's not a good thing, so let's just do that. And don't forget this side, from this line to this line. Oh, you see that our construction line made that mistake over there. Okay, it should be 0.6. You can override that. This thing happens sometimes. Okay, you can override that and make it 0.6, but I don't recommend you do that. I recommend that go to the layers and turn on the constructions and then fix that instead. Okay, you can see that when I dimension this line, it has to be 0.6. So this is 0.6. So what is an issue? The issue is that this is not intersecting properly. You see that? The boundary of that part is not proper. Let's do that. Let's delete that dimension, remove that line, and keep every other line over there, and delete this line and delete this line because the end of that we didn't selected it properly using construction lines. Okay, so I'm gonna go and create a new construction line and make sure the snaps are on. Then zoom in and make sure you end on that line properly. Okay, you end on that line. Then if you go this way, it's gonna be slightly below. There's a gap. Okay, then I'm gonna go and extend those lines. There is an extend command. I'm going to extend this and extend this and extend this and that. Okay, and then I'm going to create a solid line at the end of it. It's not extended properly. This side is not, but let's use that. And now I'm going to delete this dimension line to make sure my extension is good. It's not. I'll click on extend and click on this line. I can delete or trim those lines now. So let's trim this and trim this. You can see that if I will dimension now, it will give me the size I want. Again, there is an issue. That's crazy. Even the top line is off. Yes, it is off. You see that? It is off also. That's crazy. This one is easy to fix. Okay, so this is really easy to fix. So that line was off also. So let's go to construction. These mistakes are really critical. Okay, it's better that that happened and you learned it, that how to fix it. Okay, because otherwise your dimensions are not going to be accurate. You have to force them to be accurate. Okay, you have to override them. Overriding in AutoCAD is not a good thing. Okay, because the drawing has to be to size properly. Okay, so let's go to the main layer and extend this and that. No need to extend anything else, it's already there. And then draw the line here. Hopefully this is 0.6 now. So let's delete this and see what happens. Okay, this line has to be dashed. We made it solid. So what are you going to do? You're not going to delete it and change it into hidden again. You can just select the line and click on this and select hidden. It's going to change it to that layer. Okay, then press escape. You're out of that. So let's dimension it now. Before dimensioning it, I'll make sure that I'm in the dimension layer, because otherwise my dimensions are going to be really thick when I export the drawing. So from here to here, boom. You can see that now, okay? So that was the mistake. So once you're done with all the dimensionings that you need, you will go to the layers and turn off that construction. You can even turn it off before completing the dimensioning, okay? And then I'm not completing the rest of the views, okay? You know how to do that, okay? So I'm assuming that you will do it by yourself. And now I'm going to show you how to export the drawing. Make sure everything is good and make sure your views are properly centered. If they are not, you can move them and make them properly centered. And now it's time to export it, okay? To export it, I'm not going to use any layouts because we normally use them if we have to import the views from the model space, which is done for 3D objects. We created the view by ourselves, okay? So we are gonna just simply go with the simple print command, okay? You're gonna click on the A on the top left and press on print and then press escape. It's gonna show you this window. In this window, you're gonna select Adobe PDF from here and then letter size, then window. Then you're gonna click on this top left corner and this bottom right corner. Then you're going to click on center the plot and fit to the paper and click OK. It's done. Okay. You will just save it. It will open it up. You can rotate your view and the drawing is ready. Okay. So you can go and print it out and make sure it's actual size before you print it. Okay. And select the printer from here, whatever it is. Okay. So your print will be ready and you can submit that if you want to submit a solid copy, but if you want to submit a PDF file, you can submit this. Okay. This is properly done. Okay. So everything is good now. So that's it, guys. We are done with the video and we have completed our first assignment. If you would like to check the courses I teach, you can visit my website mactutoring.com. I will also be offering the midterm crash course for MIAE 211. I strongly recommend that you join it. I promise that if you attend it, you will do really well on the midterm. We will solve a lot of problems together and fully master the key topics, okay? You know that the missing view, section view, auxiliary views, and lines are coming in the midterm. So you will walk into the exam with confidence, okay? I hope to see you in my classes. Good luck with everything.